Hi, this is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and today I'm doing the reading for a personal forecast for your personal life and for your relationship to the global situations. And 2 spreads of 5, and I will now turn the camera down to where it just shows the table. And probably 10 other things. Okay, so much for that. Okay, so okay. So the first card for your personal situation as it stands, Mary, I don't know how to pronounce that, so there you go. It is requirement, and this card is the immediate past, Holly, transformation. This is the immediate past. It's cleverness reversed, Poinciana. And in the far past is thorn tree to yield. And it's upright. And this one is oak reversed, perspective reversed. Okay, so situation is, for your current thing, is that you are in a position where something is required of you. You can't just sit on it. It has to happen now. It could be anything from paying some bill to telling somebody something they don't want to hear but you need to tell them, or anything like that. But it's something you have to do. And in the immediate, oh my God, have I done this right? Yes, okay. In the immediate past is transformation, and either, and I'll work it out as I go along, either you've gone through some transformation or somebody else has gone through some transformation, or your immediate situation has gone through transformation. That could be some spiritual awakening, or, you know, everything you own's been lost in a flood or a fire or something like that. These are all transforming things. And in the immediate future, we've got, oh, now wait a minute, I know that was reversed. It was cleverness reversed. Okay. So in the immediate future, to deal with this situation, you don't want to be clever. You want to be no gimmicks. You want to deal with everything straight up, at least from your end. And that's your best approach, no matter what it may seem like. In the past of kind of causal type thing, you've got to yield, and that means giving way to something or someone in your life that has sort of put you here, for good or bad. I mean, it doesn't have to be bad. Yielding is just means you take a position of that somebody else's opinion or somebody else's position is the primary, the thing you need to follow. So, like I say, good or bad. And in the end of situation, you've got a lack of perspective. Which doesn't sound very good, does it? Okay, so, but this is good to know. I mean, you need to know that if you are not paying attention, if you are too focused on something personal or something like that, then you may lose perspective on what is needed, because, as I say, this is a requirement. This is something you have to do. And so just remember that there's a transformational quality of things, and that you have yielded to something or someone else's authority, that the two of these together, I would say lack of perspective and not being clever, it may be a warning. It may be saying, okay, you need to really pay attention, because this thing you're required to do can put you in a position where you're all tangled up emotionally, and you can't see the right thing to do. Ooh, well, I ought to do a clarifier here. So what do you want to do? Right. So how do you get past these? How do you gain perspective? What approach do you need to take? All right. I'll just do it however long it takes. And you've got uninhibited, Coco. I'm going to put these underneath here, because this is kind of where it's going. And we need this one. This is, well, organizing, Olive. And one more. I'm going to take some that's on top. Plum, ferocity. Okay, so in order to deal with a required situation that has been arrived at by yielding to something else's authority, and a transformational situation is happening, or you may or may not be aware of it. But if you lose your perspective and haven't got your wits about you, you can have bad results. So what you need to do is A, organize, B, do not be inhibited by circumstances, probably of your own. Don't be inhibited by, well, an example would be, let's see, you don't want to take a walk because your feet hurt. That is, and it inhibits your taking the walk. Or you feel bad about how you look, so you don't want to go out in public. Something that inhibits you from taking action. So you want to be uninhibited. In other words, whatever it is that you feel is holding you back from taking the right steps, you want to just brazen it through. You want to be ferocious in your approach to yourself, because what you feel is inhibiting you needs to be gotten through for you to deal with the requirement. So these things need to happen. Just remember that when you're trying to get through to a situation, you want perspective. And if you don't pay attention, if you are not ferocious in your attack, if you are not organized about it, and if you don't just do it, go through the things that would normally inhibit you, then you will be sunk with this. So, and this is this week. I mean, something like that could go on for much longer, but this is like the way it shakes out for this week. Anyway, that's this part of the reading. And then we've got the global situation, how you need to relate to it. All right, so you've got Cedar of Lebanon, and it's in reverse. Cedar of Lebanon is holy, so we're talking about something that is not holy. And that's the basis of the situation. Now, if I had to take this off the top of my head without any kind of cards around it, I would say that there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world is absolutely unholy. There's ridiculous wars that shouldn't be happening and are affecting a lot of people who are deemed innocent, and nobody pays attention to what happens to animals or pets or the environment. I mean, do you know how many trees are destroyed in wars? Anyway, blah blah, me and my angle. Okay, so we're doing this one. This is one that's come up before, and it's in reverse. It's Tamarack Conflagration, and it's in reverse, and that is the immediate past. We've got, in the immediate future, we've got Red Bud Tolerance. And in the far past, we've got Sequoia, Heart of the World, in the sort of basis past. And this one. And in the resulting type future, this is an interesting, Rubicons Flying High. Okay, now, so we've got the basis of it being really an unholy situation, just awful. And I won't even get into our own personal politics, but you've got, just globally, there's an awful lot going on that is distressing on an emotional level, and it just ties you up. I know for myself, I don't watch the news anymore. I mean, I get it because I get newspaper in my inbox, and I see stuff all day long, so I do know what's going on, but I don't get into it. I don't spend a lot of time looking at it because it's just too upsetting, and I can't do anything about it. So that's me personal take on that. But the immediate past, and this is interesting, the immediate past is conflagration reversed, which means the worst of it is past, or it's like the just immediate past. And I'm going to go here. And for Sequoia, Heart of the World, it means this is affecting everybody, and it's just tearing everybody apart. And I know that there are other wars going on than the two obvious ones, but the whole world is in agony at the moment because it is being torn apart, and everyone's frightened, and on a personal level and on a global level. And as we've said before, you could end up with nuclear stuff, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. So it's the heart of the world is in distress. And currently, I would say the worst of this, or at least it's on a break, the kind of blowing up part and of an unholy situation. So in the immediate future, tolerance is a way forward, because it doesn't mean that you have to side with anybody or say people who are behaving badly, as it were, do not have to be sided with. But in order for us to get past it, we have to tolerate them rather than reacting, rather than having some strong emotional reaction, which just makes things keeps everything going and feeds the flames. So I think this card here is kind of indicating that this is what's going on. People are saying, okay, we don't want to feed this thing. So it's calming itself a little bit in terms of the conflagration part. And then in the immediate or the, I hate to say immediate because it says this is for a week. Anyway, so you've got the tolerance thing, and by the end of the week, a week from now, you will feel better. You'll feel something good will have happened, and in some arena or another that will make it feel better for the time being. I guess why not do some clarifying cards on that too? Why not? All right, that's fun. Okay, so we've got, and then we're reading them all up right. Okay, you've got Pussy Willow Determination. You've got Cowrie Influence. And over here. And you got this one. Bayberry. What's beneath? All right, so, okay, so in order to deal with, in order to understand why tolerance will help us feel it flying high, we've got determination. That means stick to it no matter what comes up. There's influence. In other words, what I get from that is there will be people who have influence to discover what's beneath the causal stuff. And so what I get from this is that there will be forces, and if you're one of them, great, who have enough clout that they can have influence and get to the bottom of something, and are determined to. And in that way, we are able to tolerate things that are happening more. And at the end of it, at least by this time next week, we will feel elevated emotionally, or at least comparatively. Anyway, so that's it for the week, and I will. But hardly anybody looks at this except me. God, what did I do? I need my other thing. I dropped it. Okay, I'll use you instead. Ugh. Okay, I need to raise this thing. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. All right, so that's that. I hope you're enjoying these things. So this is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and I will do another one of these. I record, this is Sunday, and I'll release it later tonight because it's for next week. So I hope this is helpful to people, and thank you for watching. And I will put the short in because that's really what anybody looks at. Yes, please like and subscribe and blah, blah. All right. I will talk to you later. Bye.